actually had in one of the ads, like literally one of the newspapers that I delivered to my neighbors, and it was seared in my mind, and I remembered it all these years later. The headline was, more layoffs expected in upstate New York, more job losses in upstate New York. It literally felt like in the mornings I was delivering bad news to my neighbors. And on the exact same page of the newspaper, there's a headline talking about how great that was for Wall Street and how great that was for earnings expectations and stock prices and the hedge funds and private equity and so forth. And so it taught me at a really young age that in our political system and in our economic system, the deck has been stacked against working folks and communities like the one I grew up in. And it's been stacked in favor of these big, powerful special interests that set the agenda because they shove a whole bunch of corporate PAC money in the pockets of the politicians who do what's best for them instead of what's best for us. And I see it every single day that I'm out on the campaign trail. Earlier today, I was at a farmer's market in Callicoon, went to a county fair in Grahamsville, just did an event down in Cochecton. And I talk to folks and I always say, what is it that keeps you up at night? What's the biggest issue that you and your family are thinking about? And almost all the time, it's kitchen table, pocketbook issues. There was a senior couple that I talked to at a county fair, and they said they had to start cutting back on the groceries because the prescription drug costs were too high. There was a family that I met at Cinco de Mayo, Liberty, in Sullivan County, young family, probably late 20s, early 30s, 2 little kids, and I asked them, what is it that keeps you up at night? And they said, Josh, the rent's too damn high. We got to keep a roof over these kids' heads, and they just jacked up the utility prices on us, and we don't know how we're going to make ends meet. And I have those conversations with folks every day. I don't know if any of those folks I talk to are Democrats or Republicans. All I know is they're upstate New Yorkers, and they're struggling to get by. And initially, my reaction to those kinds of conversations was always, how can that possibly be the case? In the United States of America, in upstate New York, how can that be the case that families are having those kinds of struggles? But I think you all here, y'all are engaged in politics. You know exactly why it is, right? That it's because the deck is stacked. That family who said they had to cut back on the groceries because the prescription drug costs are too high. Is anybody surprised by that? The pharmaceutical industry last year took $15 million, which is a drop in the bucket for them, and put it into corporate PACs to pay politicians, both Democrats and Republicans. Like 90% of the politicians in Washington are taking corporate PAC money from the pharmaceutical industries. It comes out to like $50,000, $50,000 per year per politician from the pharmaceutical industry. Per capita income in Broome County, the biggest county in this district, is like $32,000. And politicians are taking 50. So is it any wonder when we're trying to lower prescription drug costs, what we're up against?